Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I got another deck suggestion from Apple Juice TV. He well, not so really much as a suggestion. It's more like I fought him and he helped me make a deck. This one, so yeah, we're gonna try this out. And the best part about this is that I don't even need to change styles, so that's good. And the idea behind this deck is to stay in front stance and to not really use back stance. So I don't know, I kind of like using it back stance, even though it's kind of, well, not good. Mainly because sometimes, whenever I find myself there, I find it easier to dodge stuff. I'm not that good at parrying, man. I make bad reads all the time, so it's whatever, But yeah, this is a very solid deck here, and we're gonna try this out in CTs today. There's just one change I want to make to it. Just one change. One change. I want to change this to this. That's a bit better to me. Alright. But yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and do this. So yeah. Let's do it. Okay, so that's gonna have to do it for today, y'all. Overall, this is a pretty good deck. Works really well. Yeah, not really for me though. Even though I try to stay in front stance, well, try to. I usually end up getting stuck in back stance at least sometimes, and you know, when I try to get but that's what I use my lights for. I know everybody hates using lights and shit, but like, Fei Jin's kind of bad when you in back stance, right? And I used the lights to make up for how bad the avoids were in back stance. All right, because the lights were generally fast enough to beat out unless like your opponent followed up with another like 10 or 11 frame light attack. The lights were pretty good on a back stance avoid. You know, I used them to follow up on that to at least kind of save myself. It got really tough because when I ended up getting stuck in back stance, it got really tough to get out of pressure and didn't remember to block because I'd always forget that these moves here aren't fast enough to attack out of back stance. But yeah, that's what I use the lights for, to make up for that. But anyway, that's my fault. That's really just muscle memory on my part. But yeah, I mean, it's tough to stay in front stance, and even when I'm in my front stances, like, sometimes I just have a hard time parrying. All right, and I've relied on those back stances and those lights to call it a crutch, if you will, but I relied on those to kind of help me out when I got stuck in back stance and I just couldn't figure out which to attack to parry or whatever, and I used those to get out of pressure. All right, like this that's just something. I mean, this becomes especially apparent with stagger, right? When you're fighting stagger, Fei Jin is pretty bad against stagger, okay? A good stagger. But, yeah, fighting Scrappy, man, he really fucked me up, and I was over here wishing I had one of my other decks. But that's just Scrappy, you know, but... Because he's really fucking good. But even still, fucking stagger sucks. It sucks. I hate fucking fighting a good ass stagger, man. It's just, it's so tough because they can practically do whatever they want. I'm over here trying my best not to get fucked up too badly, you know. Against everything else, it's pretty okay. It's fine, but I usually. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but against stagger, man, you're gonna have a tough time. Regardless, like, that's just, if you're not stagger yourself, that's just regardless of the deck or whatever, you know. But I guess that's more of a me thing or general thing with stagger being too strong or whatever. I don't know, man. But good all around deck. Just when it comes to fighting staggers, not so much. I feel, in my personal opinion, you may feel differently. You might be able to play this deck a bit more patiently than I am, than I do. You know, because I try my very best. To do this shit, but you know, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. You know, it's all right, but I don't like that you're potentially giving up your turn just to count on somebody whiffing an attack when you do stuff like this. All right, it worked on me because I'm a scrub and I'm just not that good overall, but you know, it's not. It's just not gonna do. It's just trying to apply that same strategy to other people. Well, it's a mixed bag, but you know, of course it is. But you know, it's whatever. Man, fighting Scrappy really killed my mood, man. I did the best I could. But man, that guy... that guy and other guys, they're just on a whole other level sometimes, man. I don't know what to do. I just end up getting frustrated at myself, really, not them. Although, to some extent, I really feel that this deck kind of held me back. But that's just me. Alright. Like, I wouldn't... You have to be really patient, because if you end up stuck in back stance, you gotta block. You can't take your turn if you're using an attack slower than like 10 or 11 frames. You have to block, and I find that really sucks about Feijin, because you know, most of the time you're gonna get hit if you try to do anything out of back stance. Except for a light, you know. You can't even, unless the attack is slow, you can't even really parry on time to catch their next attack out of back stance. Trust me, I tried to do stuff like that. If that was the intention, well, it was very poorly executed, because you can't even do that most of the time. But, you know, that's more of a gripe with the style itself than anything else, you know. This style is half a style, man. It barely fucking works. I mean, it's not as, there's some oversights here when it comes to this back stance thing, okay? It doesn't do enough. But enough of my ranting about this style, class, whatever you want to call it. Good deck. It just isn't for me, personally. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video, and till next time.